I help people buy their very first house regardless of what their situation is. Home affordability is not dead. I know we're hearing all kinds of opposite stuff in the news, right? We hear it every single day. Home ownership for first-time home buyers is unaffordable. It is young buyers, millennials, Gen Zs, everybody, they're all pushed out of the market because of home prices. And I'm telling you, they're wrong. Everyone is spreading fear and they're spreading lies because I help people do it every single day. People with very low credit scores, low income, get into houses every single day, and I can help you do it too if you just know the rules. There are rules, to get mortgage loans, and sometimes people just aren't aware of what they are. So I want to share with you my insider knowledge that I have obtained over the past 10 years as a loan officer and my 20 plus years in financial services. I know I probably don't look like a typical banker, but I've been doing this since straight out of high school. I've been doing nothing but finance. I bought my very first home when I was 23 years old at a time when everyone else was telling me it was a bad time to buy, and that home made me a ton of money, which set me up for success, helped me buy this house, helped me buy other houses, and that is why I'm such a big believer in home ownership. I'm gonna show you what no one else wants to show people, because no one likes to help the first-time home buyers. Because we're just gonna get this out of the way. Loan officers do make a commission. I make money when you get a loan off of me. That's what happens. That's how I make a living. I'm going to get paid if you get a loan through me. But here's the crazy thing. The amount of money I make is directly correlated to the loan volume, how big the loan is. So it's a percentage, right? So I get paid a percentage off of your loan amount. The bigger of a loan amount I can do, the more money I make. So why wouldn't I talk to people that make hundreds of millions of dollars and try to do $1 million loans all day long? In my 10 years of doing loans, I have found that most of those people are assholes, and I don't like working with them. And I don't care what amount of money I can make to work with them, it's not worth it for me. I like to help everyday people, the people with low credit, low income, the people barely making it, right? The people that are building up the backbone of this country by putting in the work every single day. I like to help the everyday guy because that's who I am. So I want to show you some of the stuff that only the millionaires and everybody else knows. Mortgage is just like, it's the very first step of what the ultra crazy rich do all the time. It's leveraging someone else's money to make you more money. That's all it is. And at the end of the day, that's technically what a mortgage is. Yes, you're gonna have to make the monthly payments, but guess what? You're gonna have to pay somewhere unless you're living at home for free. You have rent to pay for the most part. So just take that money that you're already spending and put it towards something that is going to earn money. The long term of home ownership, the value is absolutely there, and I'm living proof of it because I'm just an everyday guy too, and I've made tons of money through real estate. But it all starts with that first house, and it all starts with getting into it and knowing the rules. So let's stop with the fluff and let's get into some of the rules. So there's 3 things that we look at on a mortgage application. How much money do you have? How much money is in the bank? Yes, you're probably gonna need some money, but not as much as you might think. In fact, most of my clients on average are closing with $3,000 or less total out of pocket. Total money spent on buying a house. $3,000 or less, that is real. You can call any single one of my clients and they'll tell you the same thing. The next thing is credit. You do have to have credit, right? Regardless of your score. Because again, I've seen all kinds of score. Literally, I helped one dude get like a $700,000 loan. He had like a 527 credit score. So just know it's possible. You're not gonna get a very good interest rate, but I can do it. And the higher the credit score, the better your options are and the more options you have when it comes to programs. So just keep that in mind. But credit is an important one. And then finally, income. You do have to have income to get a mortgage. That one, for some reason, seems obvious to me, but I've been getting a lot of phone calls lately of people that literally are not working and want to get a mortgage. I'm like, okay, well, how would you plan on paying it back? Like, well, I'm just gonna try really hard. Yeah, this is not the 1940s anymore where you can just shake a white guy's hand in a bank and they give you money. It doesn't work like that. There are rules, especially because of the crash of '08, they made a bunch more rules, but those are the 3 things. You gotta have some money, you gotta have some credit, you gotta have some income. And again, I don't care what any of them are. They can all be bad. For the most part, you need 2 out of the 3 in order to get a mortgage. So you either need good income, good money. If you've got bad credit, I've got options for you. If you've got no money, but good credit and good income, I've got options for you. When you don't have money or credit or income, that's when there can be problems. But stick with me. So the first one is something called your debt to income ratio. A lot of people call me and they say, I got declined on a loan because of my debt to income ratio. I don't know what that means, but they said that's why I was declined. And it really bugs me because 1, I just hate when loan officers don't explain why they decline someone. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves. It's super simple. It's literally all of your debts that get reported to credit. So minimum monthly payments for credit cards, minimum monthly payments, right? Auto loans. If your payment's $500 a month, we add that to the list of debts. Student loans, whatever they are, you're gonna add up all of your debts and then you're gonna look at your gross monthly income. The debts divided by the income is your debt to income ratio. But the difference is we haven't added the new mortgage debt into those other debts yet. That's how we figure out the total percentage, right? And so that's how we can kind of figure out how much you can qualify for. So we can reverse engineer this little formula so you can get an idea today without pulling credit, without calling me, without clicking on a website link, without doing anything other than just watching this video, following the instructions. You can find out how much of a mortgage payment you can qualify for. Here's how you do it. We already have our income number and we have our debts, right? If you don't have those, just get those done. Take your total debts, you're gonna take your income and whatever that debt number is, so let's just say it's $3,000 that you pay per month in debt, and you make $6,000 a month in income. Well, now we're going to subtract that $3,000 from the $6,000, that gives us $3,000. You're gonna take that number, whatever that final number is, and you're gonna times it by 0.45. That leftover number is what you can potentially qualify for in a mortgage payment. That is your comfortable payment number from a qualifying standpoint. Now, I'd be really interested to see what that payment is. You can hit me up in the comments if it's higher or lower than what you're already paying in rent. If it's higher, that means that you can qualify for something more than what you're living in now. If it's lower, there's still options for you as well. So again, this is just really basic. It's not exact, but it gives you an idea of the type of monthly mortgage. If it's zero or there's no number in there, you have too much debt or not enough money. And that's gonna be a problem when you take your loan application. You're not gonna be able to qualify for anything. So you need to look at debt consolidation or making some more money. But this will be the very first thing that will tell you whether or not it's even optional or even an option for you. So now the number that you don't know is probably what that payment equals in buying power. And this is where you definitely need somebody like me or a loan officer that knows what they're doing to help you with this next part. I don't have enough information to go into all of it. But if you have that much information so far, just know that that's a real quick phone call. You can actually book an appointment with me right here through the link on the description of this video. From there, it'll take you to just my calendar. You can book 10 or 15 minutes with me. Tell me the number that you came up with, reference that you saw this video, and then I can go through the next steps with you. It'll probably only take another 10 to 15 minutes to figure out how much of a loan you could actually qualify for. Because then that's when we need to dive into, your credit score, how much of a down payment, where you're looking to buy, how much money you have to work with. And again, just know that I have done loans for every possible scenario. The first question I always ask is how much money do you have saved for your down payment and or closing costs? And I always get this kind of awkward silence because most people, unless you've been planning for years to buy a house, don't really have a number or have anything saved, especially right now with inflation the way that it is and just how expensive life is. Most people's savings is little to nothing. And so I kind of get that awkward and they're like,
well, you tell me how much I need to save.
No, you tell me how much money you have. How much money do you have to work with? Because I need to know that number so that I can do what I do on the back end and putting together your options. So if you tell me it's 500 bucks, no problem. I go in and I'll find an option for total $500 out of pocket and what that will equal in a price point, and then we get you connected with a real estate agent, help you find that house, make it happen. It's that simple. Tell me it's $3,000, we work with that. If you tell me it's zero, I can work with that too. I've helped people get into houses with no money out of pocket. Typically, you're gonna need a little bit better credit score for those ones, and if that's your concern, don't worry about that either. I've got an in-house credit repair guy who is phenomenal. I've seen this guy take credit scores from the low 500s to the 700s less than a year. I've seen him take somebody that was had no credit score whatsoever to the 700s in 10 days. Like, this guy's done some crazy stuff. So if you're worried about credit, just know I've got plans for you. We can get you connected with my guy if that's the scenario. I feel like most people that come to me, they expect a denial, and then when I come back to them and I tell them that they're pre-qualified, they're like extra surprised. So I'd love for that next person to be you, because it's literally what brings me joy and just what makes me so happy is when I can show someone that just really had no idea that they could even qualify for something to then tell them that they're pre-qualified, and then we help them on the next step of their journey to get their house. If you'd like to learn more or get your process started today, you can contact me just right in the description of this video. It's just my cell phone. It's literally that simple. When you book the call or you call me, you're gonna get me. I love talking to people. Any scenario you might think of, be happy to help. But let's make homeownership happen for you. I promise you it's more affordable than what the news and everyone else is saying out there. You can do it. I don't care what your situation is. And if you don't know what it needs to be, or if you don't know what you need to do, that's what I'm here for as well. Give me a call. Let's make it happen. Homeownership is a reality. It is affordable. Let's do it.